Hello, welcome to the April reading for Capricorns. This is Dr. Shiny. I'm happy to read for you again. Welcome back if you're returning, and welcome if you're new. I'm going to go ahead and get into your reading today. Your current situation is the Judgment card. This indicates that you're going through a sort of transitional period in your life where things are it's sort of out with the old and in with the new. There's also a feeling of completion, of possibly achievement. The Judgment card, when it comes up in your reading, always tends to have more of a positive connotation. Justice is always a good thing. If justice is being served, lessons are being learned, and sort of karma is being cashed in, that type of thing. So it's a good period. There's generally a sense of like moving on or moving up in the world, broadening your horizons, that kind of thing. Okay, so what's crossing you is the Fool, or not necessarily crossing, but influencing you. And this is a very positive card, even though it's got the Fool as the name. It's about this sort of childlike innocence and a sense of adventure, and just sort of like going off, on the road, just chasing a dream in a way. But it's very pure. It's very it's new beginnings, new journeys, things like that. The sense of adventure. And so that's what's influencing you. That's what you're experiencing right now. You're going through a period of new beginnings. Things are changing, that type of thing. What got you here was the Four of Cups. Now, the Four of Cups indicates like you were very comfortable where you were for a while, and then it got to be where the grass is sort of greener. So like in terms of this card, the best way to describe it is it's like a cat there who, cats usually don't like water, so he's built himself a little suit where he never has to touch water again. And he's sort of looking down at the water as though now that he's been safe from water for so long, he kind of misses being dunked in the water every now and then, Or it's like somebody who doesn't want to get in the pool, but after you kick them in the pool, then they laugh and they love it, it feels good. And then they may get out and be angry just for fun, So there's that sort of energy about it. That what's got you here is that like you were in a really good place mentally, where you were sort of enjoying things, and now you're just sort of moving into the next phase, moving into the next transition. It's sort of time. This is the feeling that precedes growth, so that's what you have there. In the future, or sort of what will be the result of what you've accomplished here, or your adventure, or something like that. It's the Seven of Swords. Now this card generally has an issue, or a feeling of needing to get away with something unnoticed. There's sort of like a feeling of hastiness to it, or covertness, like trying to fly under the radar a little bit. So this suggests that whatever you're going through, this new state that you're going into, and the way the Judgment card is clearing out the old and making way for the new, it's saying that, if you go through this adventure process, if you really kind of kick it in gear, you're going to have this feeling of being sort of maybe watched or chased, or like somebody is sort of out to get you. And it might not just be one person. It could be just attacks from all angles, like you're building a new house, and every tax creditor and everything wants to come knocking again, that kind of thing. It's like if you're trying to skip town, you probably shouldn't alert all your creditors first. That's the kind of the kind of thing. So it's a caution for the future that with success comes jealousy from others. So a lot of times if you're a person who has a good heart and has been waiting for good things to come your way for a long time, you get so happy when you have them, you want to share them, and you sort of let your guard down, and people will take advantage, and so before you know it, you're back with nothing. So you have to be a sort of arbiter of how you're going to invest your time and your energy and all that stuff. The foundation of the current situation is the King of Coins. I like to think of the foundation as sort of like the lesson that you're being taught. And it makes a lot of sense in this situation. The King of Coins is somebody who is not just like a really rich person, because typically, it's not always true, but a lot of times, very rich people, huge monetary value, sometimes they're some of the worst people that understand like the nature of wealth. They've become kind of obsessed with the money. And like I said, not all of them. I know, to be honest with you, I feel like it's about 50-50. But there are some people who don't understand the value of money for anything other than the dollar value, and then there are people who understand that like money is water and food, you know what I mean? Like we have different appreciations for it and that kind of thing. The King of Coins suggests a really really appropriate balance of the value of money versus the value of the things that money pays for, right? And so because he has a tremendous balance, he kind of has a command of it. It's easy for him. He is not constantly so greedy that he prevents more money from coming his way. So there's like a huge positive feedback loop here, but it also is just indicative of learning to appreciate what you have and gratitude, that kind of thing. So you're being taught you're being taught that happiness doesn't lie in a possession necessarily, but command of possessions can manipulate your way through the environment to get to your happiness, you know what I mean? So and the way that you're going to have to do that, ironically, is sort of through like letting go. Accepting your current situation changes the nature of it. That's a really good thing that I always like to say in my head over and over again, because sometimes it feels like there's not really a way forward, but I feel like there should be a way forward. Like I should sort of brute force or, just try to throw everything I have at this problem, but it doesn't seem like it's going to work, and then you start to look on the other side, the flip side of that, and say, well, what if I just sort of accept this and like learn to find a positive in it or something like that? And then a lot of times that simultaneously can make you happy instead of like upset that you have to go do something, like go to work or something like that. Instead of being upset about it and saying, oh, I'm so tired, you can actually get a little bit of joy out of it. You can find ways to make yourself get some joy out of it. It's a tremendous opportunity for that. And it's a experience experience that allows you to cultivate a system of discipline and making yourself more comfortable with like being uncomfortable because that's how you learn your lessons. That's how you grow. What doesn't kill you makes you stronger. So if you can expose yourself in a controlled manner to unpleasant situations, it sort of builds a character to you, But anyway, so the higher thoughts, the crowning thoughts, what's on your mind or conscious mind, is the Hangman. This suggests needing to sort of like hang back a little bit, or like again letting go. You can look at it either way. So he's like sort of coming to grips with the fact that he doesn't have control of the situation in a way or something. There's like a waiting period here where you've got to just put your trust in others. And he's learning to enjoy that. He's learning to know, I don't have to worry, like I don't have to depend on, it's not all on me. I can depend on others to get this done, and I can just sort of sit back and wait and watch it unfold and take time in that endeavor to enjoy it, to appreciate what you have, you know. So the Hangman has a really positive sort of pre-awakening energy to it that I really love. And it's one of my favorite cards as far as like the way that it feels in the deck. So, but it also means that you just can't, you're involved in a process, but you're not able to really be hands-on with it. You're gonna have to just step back a little bit and like watch it unfold, watch it come to you in a way, and that's sort of what's on your mind. So your advice for the current situation is the Five of Swords, and this is being what your foundation is, which is the King of Coins, and this represents sort of like not necessarily always creative conflicts, but conflicts in ideology, conflicts in taking the more dangerous route versus the safer route, that type of thing, conflicting thoughts. And in this situation, for your advice, this is telling me that you should focus on maybe picking and choosing your battles a little bit, and possibly like not micromanaging so much. And it's not that you've been like micromanaging a lot. It's just that this is micromanaging is a process that, while it can be fun for you, it also can be harmful for people who like really want to do their job, or want to have some freedom to do their job, you know, that kind of thing. Or it can also prevent you, if you're always in this state where you feel like you have to control everything, it can make you unable to enjoy the process or relax, you know what I mean? Because life is kind of a game in a lot of ways. So if you feel it's something that you just have to go on with, then life's gonna suck, you know what I mean? But if you are engaged in almost like a sportsmanlike or chivalrous type of way, where it's not just total cynical carnage, it can be quite a bit more enjoyable, you know, to have these sort of sportsman mentalities. But anyway, your current environment is the King of Swords. Suggest somebody around you, close to you, or in your thoughts, even near to your thoughts, has profound intellectual control. This is a real problem solver. You don't want to duel with this guy mentally. He'll win the debate. You know, he has the skills, not just to look like the best guy, but to get through to your head, to really, you know, peer in and figure out what drives your position, not just what your position is, but like figure out what's inside your mind that drives your position, and then he's able to sort of like duel with you, you know. He knows how to poke you a little bit, to provoke you to learn, to provoke you to think, and to, you know, use your intellect. So he's a very valuable influence to have nearby. Everybody could always use a little intellectual tempering, so there's that. We have, for your fears, we have the Nine of Cups. Nine of Cups is sort of a daydreaming energy. This is being very near this is sort of being so near the point of like a dream come true that you're sort of just stuck daydreaming for just a second. Like it's got a very positive, like almost nostalgic, but somehow for like the future, you know. It's like nostalgia for the future. It's like you're so far in the future with your thoughts that you're thinking about your memories of the future. You know what I mean? Like it's you get like way far ahead, just thinking about the completion of cycles that you're going into right now, because it's, you know, all the new cycles that are coming by are in your head, are coming to be, not as coming by, but the new cycles that are going to come your way are now racing through your head because you're so excited you're moving on to this. This is in your fears card, so it suggests that you're maybe trying to avoid that sort of getting stuck in that loop by keeping yourself busy, or you feel maybe like you can't slow down and enjoy what's happened. You can't slow down and enjoy the sort of process that you're going through. And so because of that, you're finding ways to distract yourself, or to not sit back and let it hit you. So slow down a little bit. You really gotta learn to enjoy everything in life, every process. So take some time to really slow down and appreciate what's going on and be grateful for it, and you'll get a tremendous amount of good things coming your way because of those feelings. I promise, because it's all about sort of adjusting where your focus is. You know what I mean? So if you're focusing on things in the future, you're not really focusing enough on the now, and in the now is where happiness really is. It's never in the future, it's always now, right? So you've got to learn to shift back this way, because a good life event and shift like that has a tendency to make your mind just go way forward in the future, just to sort of just to anesthetize you through the difficult times, like the waiting periods. But don't do that. Don't go through life too fast. You know what I mean? Like, you only got this one, so or maybe, but this one's a good one, so keep it for a while. The overall message is the Sun. This is, again, completion of cycles, success, victory. Also, sort of things being brought into daylight, right? So manifestation of dreams, completion of cycles is a big one. So something's happened that you are somewhat excited about, or that provokes thoughts for the future. And I think that what we're just mainly concerned with here is not like getting so wrapped up in the future that you forget to be here in the present and navigate this space in a way that you're going to look back on and have really good memories of. I'm excited for you. It sounds very positive. Please let me know what you think in the comments, and if you have any questions, and I'll try to answer them. And I will see you guys next month. Oh, I'm also considering going to the bi-weekly readings, or just doing basically the beginning of the month and then the mid-month reading. So let me know what you think about that, if you think that that would be just annoying to have more videos pop up, or if you think that it would be worth it to have a little bit more specificity in the readings, So let me know what you think about that, and I will try to see what I can do. Alright, bye-bye.